Hello, everybody. This is Gerald Salenti, and it's Thursday, February 29th, 2024. Yeah, leap year. Leap year. Loser year. Anyway, it's just, I'm so sad about the state of the world. But anyway, let me go on to the economy. You had the tech heavy NASDAQ jump nearly 1% to close at an all time high. The S&P also closed at a record low. Yep, the Dow Jones Industrial ticked up. And all the reason because data showed Federal Reserve's preferred measure of inflation didn't exceed Wall Street's forecasts. Meanwhile, the pending home sales dropped in January because the mortgage rates are so high, and they're down almost 5% for the month, and that's worse than what they projected at 2%. So yeah, the markets are going up. It's a one man game. I mean, the bigs own everything, and they're in control. Magnificent Seven. Isn't that a nice name? Magnificent. They're so magnificent. So yeah, the equity markets are where they are. Oil prices, the Brent crude is still hanging around that $84 a barrel. And if the Israel war keeps heating up, you're going to keep go up more. And the Ukraine war is going to heat up again. They're not going to back down. The United States and Europe, they're going to do everything they can to ramp this up. So, and in crypto's, you saw it hit 63,000. Now it's around 62,000. And again, we call this point for point in your trends journal. We're very bullish on Bitcoin and gold. Gold today closed around 2,042. And again, when they start lowering interest rates, the dollar's going to go down because the dollar's only strong because interest rates are so high. You got this U.S. debt load at over $34 trillion. It's a fucking joke. And the weaker the dollar gets, the stronger gold gets. So again, besides my guns, gold, and a getaway plan, because we're going into very dangerous times, and I've been doing this for 44 years, I've never seen anything as dangerous as we're facing right now, geopolitically, socioeconomic-wise. And so those, again, we don't give financial advice. We give you our trend forecasts, our trends analysis, trend forecasts, and you do what you want to do. So, by the way, the Wall Street Journal, it really is the Wall Shit Journal. I'm here. I mean, there's not a story here worth front page. McConnell to resign as GOP Senate leader, big fucking deal. Supreme Court agrees to hear Trump's claim on immunity, big fucking deal. Contrarian at the Fed picks up his own followers, big fucking deal. New York accuses meatpacker of lying about climate. I mean, again, and then they used to have on the second page, Supreme Court weighs bump stock ban. I buy this thing for data. They used to have some great analysis by their Wall Street Journal people. All gone. They've been firing people one after another. And again, subscribe to this page. We're doing everything we can, and we're getting blacklisted as much as they want to do. And again, subscribe to the Trends Journal if you want history before it happens, because this is the Wall Street Journal. We got virtually nothing out of here of any trend significance. One or two stories. The New York slime, nothing. Here, the front page. Supreme Court agrees to hear immunity case. Big fucking deal. Hope for Biden and a warning for Michigan. All right, great. McConnell tells Senate, again, he's leaving. The fucking guy's dead. There's a fucking funny, big fucking deal he's leaving. And again, nothing here. He rescued 1.5 million books in Yiddish. That's chutzpah. Hey, how about the slaughter of the Palestinians? No, that doesn't mean anything. Yeah, we'll get to that later. So anyway, cooling demand puts electric car startups in a bind. This is one of the articles they have in the Wall Street Journal. Go to your top trends for 2024. And what do we have? EV, FU. We've been warning about this for years. It's an overhyped electric cars. They're fucking batteries that were invented in 1800. Again, instead of putting all the money into the military-industrial complex, if they put this money into research and development, we'd have clean everything. And again, Eisenhower, 5-star general, supreme commander of the Allied forces, 2-term president, warns the American people that the military-industrial complex is robbing the nation of the genius of the scientists, sweat of the labors, and the future of the children. And here we are. We're the future of the children. We're plantation workers of Slavelandia as the rich own everything. And the military-industrial complex, the scientists. If the scientists would have been putting their money into things that help humanity. Fuck that. Only war machine. Yep. And what else? Yeah, talking about getting big. KKR to pay $4 billion to acquire Broadcom Computing Division. Disney to form India joint venture, $8.5 billion. Those fucking numbers. It's one after another. Cox strikes $1.8 billion deal for software providers. Is Cox strikes or is this Cox suckers? It's one after another. And again, these are some of the articles that they're putting out. AI race to China lags over a year behind U.S. Microsoft back AI startup challenges technology giants. Amazon to back startup integrating AI with robotics. Again, we have here in Trends Journal each week an entire section on AI, an entire section on technocracy, which is only getting worse and worse and worse. You know what they're going to do in the EU? Or is it the FU? They're putting a bill in to ban repairs on cars that are 15 years old. Yeah. Again, they're poisoning us in a million fucking ways, but, climate change. And again, I have a 1994 Audi, so I guess I wouldn't be allowed to live in Europe. And then we have the warmonger that plays our Secretary of Defense, Lloyd Austin. Yeah, guy that loved to kill people in Iraq and Afghanistan. His former job was sitting on the board of directors of Raytheon, the second largest defense contractor in the United States. He said today that Israel killed over 25,000 Palestinian women and children. Actually, the number's well over 30,000, and it gets worse. And he goes on to say that Austin said that, again, this is the former Raytheon board member, said that the U.S. has provided Israel with 21,000 munitions since October 7th, which does not include the American-provided bombs Israel, of course, is armed with, as it receives almost $4 billion a year in military equipment. As the plantation workers of Slavelandia, you can't pay your rent. The railroads are a piece of shit. Subways are a night in Calcutta. The homeless are all over the fucking streets. Migrants pouring in. But hey, that's okay. Don't get excited, Celente. So here's the terrible news today. This is from NBC. Israeli forces opened fire Thursday on a crowd of Palestinians who were hoping to get food from aid trucks in Gaza City. At least 112 people were killed and they have 769, nearly 869 injured. Israeli military confirmed that its forces used live fire in one of what it said were 2 incidents. Live fire, shooting at innocent people. No, I got it. How stupid could I be? They were Hamas. They were dressed up as women and little children, but they were really Hamas and we had to kill them. The people are starving to death over there. Your facts are in the Trends Journal, not from us, from the United Nations and other organizations. Slaughter in front of everybody's eyes. Imagine if the headline was that Palestinian forces opened fire Thursday on a crowd of Israelis who are hoping to get food from aid trucks. Oh my God, this is a Holocaust. Hey, but the Palestinians, that's okay. Slaughter as many as you want. Keep it going. When you put the numbers in, over 100,000 had been wounded, seriously wounded, and killed. And 40% of them children, 30% of them women. And to show you the evilness of what's going on, this is from Middle East Monitor. National Security Minister hails Israeli soldiers' killing of over 100 civilians. So I want to go back to this article because it also says Israeli official pieces of shit, disputed the number of dead, but did not say how many died, and said many had been killed by stampeding crowds or run over by trucks. Oh, yeah. As you guys are... Oh, yeah. Oh, but you know the exact numbers. Oh, and the mainstream media will repeat it. What? This is terrible. Where is the outrage? Going back to the national security freak, Ben-Gvir, quote, we must give complete support of our heroic fighters operating in Gaza, who acted excellently against the Gazan mob that tried to harm them. How's that, huh? Isn't that nice? Tried to harm them as they're getting food. These guys are armed with all these weapons, tanks. People are armed with nothing. He said in a statement, he reiterated his demand to halt the entry of humanitarian aid into Gaza, claiming it poses threats to soldiers. Quote, today it was proven that the transfer of humanitarian aid to Gaza is not only madness while our hostages are held in the strip. Oh, so you want to starve them then by not giving them any money, any food? But also endangers IDF, he said. He called the incident, quote, another clear reason why we must stop transferring this aid. This is craziness right in front of you, right in front for everybody to read and hear. But if you come out against it, poll finds, this is bullshit poll by the American Defamation League, 1 in 4 Americans hold anti-Semitic views. Wonder why. Anti-Semitic? Why are you calling it anti-Semitic? The people running Israel aren't Semites. They're Ashkenazi Jews from northeastern past Turkey, up in that direction. Semites are Palestinians in the Mesopotamia region. That's the definition. And here's what they say. The poll of more than 400 adults said, quote, Jews have too much power in the business world. Well, do the research. Jews have too much control over Wall Street. Well, think Ackman. Al Ackman, the guy that got the woman from Penn State fired because they were pro-Palestinian rallies. And Jews are more willing than others to use shady practices to get what they want. I totally disagree with that. Totally disagree. All races, creeds, and colors do any fucking thing they want when they're slime balls. So that's not to me representative of the Jewish people. But what I'm saying is, you're not allowed to come out against what Israel is doing because you're attacked. This is from the World Socialist website. MIT suspends pro-Palestinian group following, quote, emergency action for Rafah protest. Haaretz, Israeli newspaper. This is Haaretz today. On Israeli TV, you are anti-Semitic if you dare mention the occupation. So, I've been getting hate mail for speaking out the way I am. And that's why we're asking you to support us. Because we're speaking the truth. I launched Occupy Peace. I'm against America's wars. That doesn't make me anti-American. I'm against Israel's wars. That doesn't make me anti-Jewish. I am totally opposed to Israel from the beginning. It was invented by the Balfour Declaration in 1917, and from the Rothschild guy telling him to do it. You could look up the data. And they say they're going to take Palestinian land. We have it. We did it now with Trends Journal. We did a whole Crusades 2000. I've mentioned this a dozen times. The Balfour Declaration, His Majesty's government views with favor the establishment in Palestine of a national home for the Jewish people. Who the fuck is some fucking prick from the UK? The fuck UK? The sun never sets on the British Empire, a murderous fucking gang, to say that His Majesty's government views with favor the establishment in Palestine. You're not right next door. Who the hell are you to say this? And of a national home for the Jewish people, and will use its best endeavors to facilitate the achievement of this object. So I'm totally opposed to this. It doesn't make me anti-Jewish. It makes me anti what they're doing and stealing Palestinian land, the Nakba, and everything else. So this is some of the emails that I've been getting. Fuck you, Celente. You anti-Semitic piece of shit. I'll never subscribe to you again or listen to any of your biased propaganda garbage ever again. So I responded. Shove your bullshit line of calling me anti-Semitic up your ass, you genocidal loving piece of shit. I launched Occupy Peace over a decade ago because, unlike you, I hate warmongering murderous pricks. This is the current CNN headline. Scores killed in Gaza while waiting for food. This must really make you happy. More slaughter of innocent women and children. The Israeli way. And this goes on back and forth, by the way. He kept coming and I kept going back. Called me, I hate Jews. And I told him again, 3 of my last 4 girlfriends were Jewish. So fuck off. And my best friends are Jewish. And 2 of them are Israeli Jews that are totally opposed to what's going on. But you're not allowed to come out against it because, as Haaretz says, and as Wall Street, as World Socialist website says, on and on, you are anti-Semitic if you come out against this slaughter. Here's another one. Account will be canceled today and forever. You hate Israel, and I and friends hate you and your slobbering, filthy mouth. I said, I hate genocide, you arrogant piece of crap, and I hate fucking murderous pricks. I guess they find that as slovenly, filthy language. But Assad has to go. Gaddafi has to go. That's proper language. We're going to kill everybody we can in these countries to get what we want. Oh, no, don't say it like that, Celente. Say folks like Obama. Yeah, and folk you guys that wrote me this. And I got a number of these. You ready? I said, shame on you for supporting mass murder of innocent women and children and stealing their land. For you and all your Jewish friends that hate me because I support peace and hate Israel's genocide, you must also have a wonderful day today as the Israeli slaughter of innocents keeps escalating. And that was yesterday before the massacre of over 100 today. So please do what you could support us. It's a grand total of $2.86 a week. The Wall Street Journal's $5 a day. The toilet paper record, the New York Slime, is $4 a day, and the weekend's $6. Both of them. IDF carries out airstrikes against Hezbollah posts in southern Lebanon. Bombs away, keep it going. Oh, and the Biden bullshit calling for a cease, said there was going to be, Biden's claimed there was going to be a ceasefire in sight and it would happen next Monday. Total fucking bullshit. He did just get more votes on the Michigan primaries on Tuesday, because when it came out recently that right after that, he said Benjamin Netanyahu's government did not know that Biden was talking about, and that Netanyahu himself said he had been, quote, surprised. So this is just going on. It's a bunch of bullshit. And yeah, this is from the Iran ISNA. Our intel and satellite images were obtained also show that weaponry and military gear supply operations from the U.S. bases and ships to Tel Aviv have been active around the clock. That's and they go on to say the performance of the United Nations is unfortunate, and Iran cannot leave space for recognition of the Israeli entity because it does not acknowledge its legitimacy and considers its occupation power over Palestinian lands illegal, which I do too. And going on to the Ukraine war. European officials, this is from Anti-War, say everyone knows there are Western special operation forces in Ukraine. So that means that the West is at war with Russia. And we've said this in the beginning. And that Lloyd Austin even admitted that we had American advisors there to make sure the weapons were used properly. And then there was an article that came out in the New York Times that reveals the CIA's presence in Ukraine since 2014. So there you got it. And what did we do? We only wrote about that in the Trends Journal in 2014, the United States overthrow of the democratically elected government of Viktor Yanukovych. And a lot more. And it's in your Trends Journal. Again, we're giving you everything that we can to give you the best we can. We're in very dangerous times. And we're doing everything we can to bring peace on earth. And again, we're being attacked, and we need your support, because the more support we have, the more we can do. We're going to have major peace rallies coming up soon. I don't know when. We're figuring out the best time to do it. Again, the multimillionaires don't give a penny for peace. If we had more money, we'd have more rallies and be doing more things. So please do what you can to donate to OccupyPeace.com, OccupyPeace.com, and subscribe to the Trends Journal. And remember, this is how I feel about the politicians. Hey, politicians, who the fuck are you to tell me what to do? And here's the back of the shirt. There's the front, and there's the back. And don't forget to watch the interview I did yesterday with Judge Andrew Napolitano. Nobody does what he does. And very, very honored that he does this every week with us. So we're doing everything we can for you. United we stand, divided we die. Thank you.
The Trends Journal, the best investment you could make, because it's the best investment into your mind, and it can change how you look at the world.
His work is actually a gold mine. Anybody interested in politics, political trends, economic trends, social trends, cultural trends, you have to follow him, Gerald Celente.
The Trends Journal is one of the greatest sources of information, and it really is. You're predicting these things well ahead of time. I would encourage everyone to go grab the latest copy.
Been a Trends Journal subscriber for 20 years. I just have to commend you. What you guys have put together in your latest Trends Journal, there's nothing like this out there.
Sir, everything that you predicted about the economy, you were absolutely right. So I have followed you all this time. So please take a look at the Trends Journal.
You correctly forecast that the Fed would hike rates quite aggressively, correctly said that initially gold and silver would drop as the Fed starts to raise rate to 1.5% and above. When we spoke last, Bitcoin was around 49,000. You said you expect to drop, and if it drops below 30, 35, then it could really drop.
Trends Journal, which I would encourage people to go and check out. It's actually a 200-page document, pure data-driven analysis.
Gerald Celente, the top trends forecaster in the world. Gerald, you had an interesting call back in September of last year. You said gold had bottomed, which is exactly what happened. And here we are, and we're above $1,900.
Subscribe to the Trends Journal. Read history before it happened at trendsjournal.com.